welcome everyone to the 10th anniversary of the Jexes. So about 10 years ago, the creator Orange04, who sadly isn't here, they did have the invite and everything like that, publicly released the Jex onto the Second Life game with all the textures, and apparently it exploded pretty well. Kudal and Sethos were around back then, so they can probably give you a bit of an idea in a little bit what it was like back then. Myself and Kurai, we came into the sort of fold a little while later on, and from there we actually helped start a community there in Second Life. We had a club for all of us to hang out, the whole big group of friends coming in, dancing around, sometimes doing a little bit more than dancing. And yeah, it was great. We built up a community, and some of you here, I'm trying to recognise names, I can't off the top, may have been there. There's a few of them still in the Discord now. Every now and then they'll fire up and say hello. You've probably seen Daryl's latest works with his photos. He's always been a big photography buff. And yeah, it just grew from there. Some people came, some people went. And for a while there, it quietened down as Second Life quietened down. But with VR chat coming to be, some of us crossed paths again. Bumped into Kurai again when he was a Shiba and I was a Circle. And he started pasting up this texture. And I was like, can I get a copy? Didn't think I was going to use it too much to return to my old skin, but the moment I put it on, I'm like, this is what it's like. Yeah. This is what it's like to be again. So yeah, I was quite happy with that, and I've been in Jex since. And so from there, with everybody seeing Kurai's work, it started to spread around, and people liked it more. We got more fresh faces into the server. You've all been mixing and gathering and helping each other through VR chat, through all its insane bugs. But yeah, the community's come together, and it's been fantastic. I'm really appreciative of how supportive you've all been with one another. It's been actually a very positive third generation for the community, I would say. The second generation being the old Second Life one. First gen being the first crew of Jex's way back, which I never met, but they were around apparently. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for all being part of the community and joining us today for our 10th anniversary meet. It's been great. I'll hand it over to Kurai. You might have a couple of things to say.
Wow. Jigs has always been a big talker for all of us way back in the day. And it's definitely been a great help to the rest of us trying to find our way in any community, let alone this one. As he says, we did bump into each other. I think I found you on Discord one day. Just picked you up from somewhere, like a mutual server or something. And then you said you're on VR chat. I'm like, I'm here too. So, yeah, we met up, and I look at this tall yellow circle. I'm like, what have you become? this is not how I remember you. And I could switch, but whatever. I'd done my Shiba in my typical design at that point. But very shortly after hanging back with chickens a few times, the Rex appeared. Now, when that came out as a public avatar, just as a test, to feel the waters a bit, test the waters, a friend of mine came in with it on. I immediately picked it up and spent the rest of that day in that avatar, just trying it, looking at how it reacts with things. That night, I took a blank screenshot. I painted the Jex on it in Photoshop, and I thought, this is going to work so well. And that was that. As soon as it came to full release, put myself straight on it, a few iterations of that. And then later, me and Chigs were talking about the original design and what that would do for so many other people. And I threw it together in a couple of days. There's the very early picture of the four of us in it. There was me, Chigs, there was, I think Double Helix was there.
Yep.
And Renki was the other one who's not here right now. And that was the first screenshots we took of it and pasted them over the community Discord. And we've had fun with it ever since. There's been iterations, there's improvements, there's my design. Back when we started the whole thing, I honestly forget how I came across the Jex. Second Life it was in. Going through all the colours, as it was released with like 30 different colour choices you could go for. I went with blue, imagine. And after a long time of going through with just the standard design, tons of other people come in, they go, but then people will also have your same choice in colour schemes. And there was a lot of blue Jexes going around. And so I thought for myself, I want to make my own. So I spent about 3 weeks researching what else I like in a persona sort of design or whatnot. And after 2 weeks of the research part and a full week of actually putting it together, that's where I got mine. And I've spoken to quite a few people about it who say they want something a bit special for their own one. And I give them exactly that sort of thing. Do some research. Look for what you like, things you like in other designs that you see other people in. Look at aspects of it that you like for yourself, and then see how you can incorporate that all together. And anyone who thinks they're not really artistic to do so, there's still so much that you can do for that yourself. You can put the ideas together, you can write them down even. And then you can come to somebody who, there's plenty of people in our Discord who are doing commissions for skins and things. If you can describe well enough what you want, see if they'll put it together for you. And there's quite a few that I've done in that way, where someone who came to me for me to design one for them, ended up with sort of a Jex variant because they wanted something similar to myself. They were a dragon for their persona for years, and as soon as I'd done their Rex for them, they've never stopped. They've completely converted everything to that, and it was from a description that they wanted for themselves, that they can have put together for them to be happy with. I have notes, bear with. Seems my rambling has more or less covered it all. But yeah, no, after bringing in this community, especially with some of the old schoolers, it was really quite nice to find Orange again after that. I met them once back in Second Life. I think I came to them with this design because I just ran into them in a world somewhere and got some comments off them about it, which was nice to hear. They were appreciative that somebody would not only like join in with what they'd done, but expand on it and show that much appreciation for what a beginning it was. And I think, that's what a lot of us would love to see keep going. I mean, the original can't be beaten in so many ways, but that doesn't stop anyone wanting to be creative. And we can only try to support that. In the furry community, as it is, there are so many creative people. Like, we can be whatever color you want, whatever shape you want, whatever design you want. And that just makes it so open for so many people to do something they like. Hey. I think that's the most from me. We did have some other people down to do some talking, I think. Cooley, you noted down some points.
No, it's not going to be quite as glorious as you two, because I am fairly new into the community, and I've been on Second Life for many years, and while I have seen Jexes in passing and stuff, I wasn't super involved in it. It wasn't until I met Shigan, and I first met him when he was the Circle. Then eventually he got his Jexoium, and I liked what he did. But it took until he actually showed me his female Jex that was with the dark purple that I went, oh, Kimi. Because I bought the Rexoium, and I had just not seen something on it that I would want to wear. So I contacted Kirai through Chigan and went, that, but more pink. And he went, okay, here. Toss me some money, all good. And that worked out. So then Chicken invited me to the Jex Discord, and I was watching and seeing people post pictures and seeing what people were talking about while I was working on my own models. And then I went, because a lot of people were saying, oh, I wish we had the ears. And I went, how difficult would it be to make the ears? So through talking with people, and Chicken actually got me in contact with Orange. And not only was I given some of the original assets to be able to build off of, like use for reference, but also concept art. And that's where I made the other tails for my Jex package. And once I made the ears and the tails, I went, well, I'm going to go all the rest of the way, and just made up the texture and stuff. So I made the ears with the intent of, if people wanted to, they could attach them onto their Rexoliums and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been really nice being here in the community and meeting a bunch of people and having these meetups and going to them, and being able to hang out with a bunch of colorful, literally, and fun people. Yeah, it's just been nice, and I'm really grateful to also have being able to have met Orange. I've been talking with them and learning a bunch of stuff from them, and yeah, I hope that the community continues on as it has been, maybe even grows, continues being a nice, positive place to be, and yeah, we'll just see where it goes from here. Hopefully up. Yes.
Sethos, did you want to tell us a bit about what it was like in the early days of Avinity and the whole Jex thing?
Hi everybody, I'm Sokar, but my SL name is Firefox Breed. I was around when she made the first avatars of the Fox and stuff at Degree, so I was there through the creation process and all that. And little known facts is she originally created Avinity to help pay for rent. That was a fact people don't realize, but I misspoke. It's a he now. I'm sorry. I have long history with her, but Orange. Then she went through all her avatar process, and I don't remember much back then. That's like 14, 15 years ago for me now, and I've been through 2 deployments in real life, so I can't remember too much details. But she did release the original Jexes. There was Orange did that, and there was some. Originally, she took a couple avatars. I keep mispronouncing her. I'm sorry, but they went and they created the avatars based on some other concept design she had back then, and she put it and then they put it together. And when it came out, I helped her with some of the basic processes. They were the ones that made everything, and I was on the box it up and did the scripts and all that. So, and then they made this one, which is the Halloween one. So I took the Halloween one with some Photoshop skills, because by then all the data files were lost. So I took this concept and did a bunch of Photoshopping and made all the dark editions, as everyone sees now. So, and pretty much that was the last thing I did with Avinity officially. That was the last project that came out. And then Orange went and...
even before.
Yeah.
Wow.
Orange was moving around a lot, so files got lost. So that's what happened with that. So I did talk to Orange quite a bit. They're very happy the community has become what it is. Didn't really expect the community to stick around this much. It was just a creation that she threw out in the open market and said, it's one of those things. I don't really think many avatar creators think a large community is going to get based off their avatar. It's not like the Sergal where it had an established lore and it became what it is. Everyone builds off of it. It was just like, hey, here's something I made, have fun with it. And it grew to what it is, and they're very happy that it actually grew to what it is. So they've been busy with real life. I've been busy with real life. I've been trying to make some things out on Second Life for it. I don't have much time to do the VR chat stuff, which I'm glad people are contributing to the community and making stuff. And I'm glad to see that the Rexolium has become the base for the avatar, which is really nice. So I'm glad to see that the species is what it is now. So I do have some stuff I'm working on in SL and trying to get some product out. But my real life's hectic now. I work as a government contractor, so by the time I'm done for the day, I'm beat. I don't want to work at the computer or work on it. So I try and put time in as much as I can. Like I have some ears. I have some legs I made. I have a tail concept. I just need to get around to actually putting forth the effort and doing it. And the head, I need to learn how to rig a head. So maybe one day we'll see what happens with it. I do have some concept stuff, but I need to clone myself to do more stuff. So
it is a lot of time.
Yeah, there's a lot of time and effort to put into the rigging and stuff. And I know basic rigging. I could do tails, arms and stuff. But when it comes to the head, there's so many bones in there. It's a lost cause for me. I'll just sit there for weeks upon weeks, and I can't dedicate that much time into a single project like I could back when I was fresh out of high school working at Walmart, you know. So, but, all right, that's my spiel. It's sad that Orange couldn't make it. I'm sure that he'll be quite proud of what everyone's here and everything, but I'm sure they have their own things they're working with right now. Plus, it is the day before Candy Dennis Dream Day, so
day before Candy Fest 21. Yeah,
Candy Fest. So I'm not going trick or treating. I'm not going trick or treating, but I'm definitely going to Walmart the first of the first of November to get the half off candy.
Hey. Yeah, they'll be shoveling that out the door.
Oh, they will be.
What SoCal says about the Rex becoming the base for it. Before the Rex came out, we were on the path to creating a base just for the Jex. Like at the time when we all got together for this, I had brought various parts of my own assets from Second Life into Blender so I could look at making something for myself at the time. Then finding Chigs and some other people in the community who were also creation-minded, we actually got down and started making a general base that we could use. And we got maybe a good third, halfway through that entire process. Then the Rex came out. Everything stopped.
Yeah.
The Rex was on time. It was, in my opinion, it was perfect for the look that one would go for the Jags, for what I would do myself, definitely. And a lot of us agreed.
Yeah, the Rex is close enough. All I gotta do is add the ear bits to it and make the tail like fill with helium so it goes up in the air like it's Second Life, and you're good to go.
That part's easily done. If you've seen Luca, one of the Jexes, he's taken it and made it as big as it used to be. And it sticks up at the right angle.
So much.
Yeah.
It's because with Flexi tail,
those Flexi Prims were.
Yeah, you lay on your back, a tail go like that. Using my right hand.
Second Life worked if people hadn't used it. You could make a flexible object, which would basically just flop in the wind, kind of thing. But the way that the Jex look was made with the gravity set to negative, so that it would curl itself up and stay there. Now, when you were actually like on the avatar was on its back or on its front, whatever, that would just keep going up. So especially if you're laying down face down, the tail is just straight up in the air.
And if you're laying on your back and it's angled this way, you lay on your back on a lawn chair and it goes right up in the air.
Yeah, so many jokes made off the back of all that, indeed. Yeah, it's the whole. I mean, Second Life itself kept a lot of us in there for a long time. Like myself, I was in there for a good 10 years, mostly actively. And I remember like my own 10-year sort of birthday or res day, as they called it, coming up. I never cared about those sort of anniversaries, but I thought, you know what, I'll make the push for this one. I put a little notice out to 1 or 2 groups I was in, and I was surprised the amount of people that show up and contribute and still think about you. No, like, I haven't seen some of these people in absolute years, and you put out a big event title like that, and these old names from so long ago just turn up and you have a little catch up with each one. And it was a good time. And for 10 years of the Jex coming up, it was definitely, I think, a good idea to do so. No matter what would turn out, you know. This is, 32 people we've got in here. It's a decent turnout. They could have been less, and I think we'd have been just as happy.
For some of you younger people as well that have been in the community, you'll see this through your online life. You know, you'll mix with people for 10, 20 years, cross paths, deviate, come back again. So this is all part of it. I've been online since the 90s, and yeah, I still bump into people I remember from the 90s, and it's great. So yeah,
it's probably even easier nowadays to keep that contact. Like back in 90s to the very early 2000s, you had so many different sort of instant messaging services. And if you lost one, people weren't necessarily on the other one, and you'd just lose contact. And people were changing names like every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Like, I remember myself in the early days going through so many until I stuck with this one. This one I've had now since, oh, God, 20 years. I've now kept with this name. And it had a reason back in the day. That reason kind of dropped off after a while, but it's how everybody knows me, and I definitely relate to it. Like, if anyone, even in real life, if anyone said either of these words, and I caught it, like, you know when you hear your own name in real life, like from across a room, in a crowded room with loads of noise, if you hear just a smidgen of Derek, whatever, and you'll go, what? You will immediately be drawn to that. And the same has happened to me for my online alias. You know, it is who I am. It is what I've made myself into. And although the shape may have changed over the time, it's still you carry it with you as a part of yourself. Even those that have old names from before and they've changed it. Like, let's say Double Helix changes it to Bernadette Christmas.
It ain't changing. Like you have had this for about 20 years as well.
Just to pluck that one out of the hat.
It was funny when I made my Second Life name. I was shit-faced drunk on my birthday. So looking back 15, 16 years now, I'm like, oh man, I chose my last name. So, but yeah, I was almost blackout drunk that I made my Second Life name, and I forgot my password, so I had to wake up in the morning and recover it right off the bat. Yeah, it was pretty bad, but yeah, that was my entry into.
I suppose that's.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. Yeah, I was able to get that one though.
At the time, in the early days of Second Life, the way they'd done it, you chose a first name, and then your second name you picked from a list. And that list changed every now and then.
And it's still down.
Yeah, so me being drunk, I was like, breed? Oh, hell yeah! Click. I was like, oh no. So yeah, they had it for a while, then they removed it to where really it was.
They re-added it.
To where it was, your last name was Resident. It wasn't like you had a choice.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
And now it's back, and then they made it so, oh hey, it's been $50, you can change your name now. Your login
It's still
name.
a pre-made list.
It's still a pre-made list. So all of us who were like, oh hey, your Second Life name will never change, so you never have to code anything for it. Oh, you bastards. So I had to go back and revisit my code and type in, so if different, update. So that messed with a lot of people's stuff.
They alleviated it a tiny bit where they made it so you could at least make like a display name that would appear over the top of it in-game. But like when I was going through the list, Kitsune was not an option in the list. The closest I got to was Kaminsky.
Oh,
so
yeah,
Fox is the last name for a while.
In Second Life for so long. And I got comments from Polish people because apparently it's a Polish name.
Yeah.
Saying, oh great, another Kaminsky. I'm like, it's not me.
Yeah, I still have my original because my account's like 13 years old, something like that. And I started out with my old Q show, and then just picked Navarita out of the list, sort of thing. And I just went with that. But a handful of years ago, I switched from Q show or / Qshi to Kudalin, and that's just what I've been using since then because I wanted something. Well, it was Q show Navarita on Second Life, but then a bunch of other places I had a really, the really cringe teenage username sort of thing. So when I started college, I was like, no more of that. I'm gonna start anew. And then I wanted to keep the Kuda from Kuda Kitsune, but you try and put either Kuda or Kuda Kitsune anywhere, and it's just taken. Yeah. So I was like, I like the Kuda part, but I want to have like something to make it a bit different, so I just attached Lin, which is a pretty typical girl, part of a girl name, and Kudalin, and it's never taken anywhere, so it's like, yes.
And
that's where I had to
Life
disown Kuda for dropping the kid's name.
So Second Life was trying to make some money off of us when they had the last name like Owu and all that, and Mama and stuff like that.
I got Tomcat as my last name in Second Life.
They definitely were trying to tap in the pot a little bit.
It's
so, and then they came out.
One of the last names.
I don't know if they were memeing or whatever, but they had Kafefi as one of the last names. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was there for like
my
a
full
week,
second last username,
and
but
they
the
yanked
last
it.
name's Kitsu.
I expect
I
people
made a name called Wild Doge, and I'm like, really?
Wine. They'll do things to make money like everybody else.
I can't choose. What's your backstory then of your naming
It
part?
froze.
Oh, if we want to
He
go
was
into
eating
that.
some chicken wings one night, and there we go.
It's actually, I was more of just a tick. I just scream out chicken with my friends, you know, just sort of like cornholio. And, you know, then into a gaming tournament, I needed a different name from my usual sort of teenage name. It's like Elite Chicken. And it went from there, and then got a job in the game industry, and I called myself Chicken Wings at the game company. And it sort of just grew from there back in 2002. I've even got one of the Photoshop artists back in 2002 took my actual face and made it like Colonel Sanders if the KFC writing like Chicken Wings. And I just proudly used that. It's like, yeah. And yeah, I just kept using it. People go, "Ha, that's a funny name." I'm like, yeah, that's me. And so, yeah. Chicken
You're
Wings,
hungry?
that's
Let's go
it.
for
It's just
bite.
a giggle name.
Yeah, it's funny how I look back 15 years ago, what we were doing for money back then. And it was really like an eye-opener because, you know, furry avatars make a lot of money. So back when Orange did the foxes, I was working at FedEx as a loader. So I'm making like $300 a week at most, $300 a week part-time. And then they'll put an avatar out and they'll get like $3,000 in a week, and I'm like, look at the ceiling, look at the floor. What am I doing with my life? so yeah, I mean there is a market if anyone does want to make stuff out there that it might not hit off like it did back in the day when we came out with this stuff, because it was kind of like bleeding edge a little bit when you know, oh boy, we got prims. Oh, look, we got sculpties. Oh, now mesh. Oh, now, you know, everything. And now we got rigging and the bento rigging. So there is a market if anyone wants to get into the 3D modeling or to the 3D stuff. That another person makes the Rexoliums is making money hand over fist right now. From what I heard, I think they locked his PayPal one time. They thought so. Yeah, they're
amazing.
Yeah, Zed and I talked to Razilla a fair bit, and Koodler here also. Koodler in here makes models as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll let you go ahead. I talk a lot.
With Razillo, with the Rexonium, it was one of the first top, I guess you could say, higher quality avatars that was made for VR chat. And it hit all the right niches of fox-like with big ears and slender and a long tail, flamboyant sort of thing. And it was pretty popular right off the bat, but then when Kirai started making the Jexes, that's when it really exploded in popularity, because people were able to see past the default texture and the fact that also Jex patterns are just nice and colorful. There is still definitely a market for making models and for making assets, either be it clothing, or like clothing is the biggest thing that's missing right now, clothing and accessories. The market is getting a little bit more saturated. That's why I've been doing things like aiming for species that are less popular, like everyone makes dragons, everyone makes foxes. So, but if anybody wants to try a hand at it, I recommend, even if it's just making something for yourself, making something for fun, it's a really challenging but interesting thing to build, and being able to upload an avatar for VR chat and then wear it and go like, holy crap. Like,
you should slow him your first attempt.
Yeah, okay. So I had never made models. I only started making models 3 years ago. And even though, Paz, my husband, had been trying to get me to make models for years, but I was always so daunted by it. And then I saw people running around in VR chat. I gave VR chat a shot, and I was like, this is incredible. Like, I'm wearing this. This is me, right? And I wanted to be me even more so. So my very first attempt, is this the one that works? Possibly. I don't know. It's been years. Oh no, this is the broken one.
1 megabyte.
Oh no, my eyeballs.
You have to start somewhere.
Yeah. So this was the very first
1 megabyte.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna take this, fix the rig, and make it my quest fallback. I just gotta find the file. But this was the very first avatar that I'd made, and I was even still like, as jank as it is, I was like, oh my god, it's me. and then I was wearing Shiba for
It's
a
quest
while.
compatible.
It's working. That's I gotta make it. Yeah, it's it's really good. It's really optimized. But
it's a pool noodle.
But I saw this, like I was looking at this and I was still seeing what other people were making, like so I was using the Shiba and stuff like that, and I was like, I could do better. I know I could do better. So I had this for a handful of months and I was using it. There's still some recordings of like old Shiba Kings that you can see me running around in. And then I touched it up and made this one. Rolled out the old stuff. And then I made this one. This was built off of the original. I couldn't quite get I went with Follow Me Eyes because I couldn't figure out how to fit my big old eyeballs into the sockets and with the blinking and stuff. And like, even if just making, like I said, something really simple like my original version, just box sculpting and stuff, and being able to just do this with it, because I didn't have full body at the time either, was just incredible. And then from this, I think you guys have seen some of my 3.0s, but then I've got my latest version of this one was the one I did for Halloween, which was this one, which I'm really happy with how it came out. So, yeah. Make stuff. Test, yes. Try things, even if it's just honestly like kit bashing, buying parts, putting them together. Like, that's how I learned, is I learned off other people's mesh. It's fun, and it's really satisfying being able to put things together and make them yourself. Make them your own. And I do have something else. Well, I got a couple of other species, but I have something in the works, but I am waiting until I hear more back on the project. And then I'll be probably making an announcement in this server. But that shall wait. But it is something to look forward to.
Alright. Shall we take a nice big group photo of ourselves? Put it up there with the annals of Jack's history?
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Alright, everybody
photoing.
listen to Zed. Zed's going to boss us around where we need to be. Sorry?
Alright, so I
photoing.
have the camera over here, if you would like to, focus your eyeballs. As far as you guys go, if you could fill up this entire section like you have it, that would be great.
Please.
No, nothing
Wait,
incredible.
Before the picture, Kira is sure he wants to say something.
Yes.
Yeah. So some people have been seeing what's posted in the Discord.
And I got the pizza calzone now. I got the pizza delivery. It took so long. I could order the pizza.
And those that noticed have ideally put their names in to win this.
I'm sure I put my name in.
The golden jack.
You did.
I'm not
I've
sure
seen
I
it.
did a check mark,
wrong.
but I don't know what I've done. Might have, might not have.
But I was going to hit the randomizer and call somebody out. Somebody give me a number between 1 and 5.
7.
3.
Said 1 and 5.
Why did so many people say 7?
It's a lucky number.
69.
Hey, rawr.
Hey.
2.5.
So the third choice is Timby Wolf.
Holy
Hey!
Rich Timby.
Yay! Congrats. Now, do you want to take it or do you want to pass on? Up to you.
Well, the Goldie Boy.
Yeah.
God,
I'm right, I'll take it.
Sexy. So, can't pass on that opportunity.
You can have the colours changed if you want. I might change a bit of where the gold goes, we'll see. I don't think there's enough, in my opinion. But eventually, I don't know how long, maybe a month, maybe longer, I'll eventually start doing this as another recolor alongside, the normal Jags. If people want it. But it's going to remain exclusively to the winner for the time being.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get a hi-ya?
Christ, actually, once about.
Until then, this is coming out in 2 or 3 days.
Ooh. That's actually.
Should people want it?
I like it.
Or mat swap options.
Yep. No gold on this one, just normal colours.
It looks very bronzy.
Okay.
I like it.
Thank you for those that participated in my little giveaway. I thought, as the Jax Me was coming up, I'm like, I should do something, maybe, and that's what I thought of. But okay, we have a winner.
There's a lost one down there.
Yeah, there's someone walking around down at the beach.
Whereabouts? The lost one.
No, I see him all the way back out there.
But I'm also way there because I'm also right now.
Someone want to go grab him?
Here, I can do that.
Okay, now we're ready for photo.
Alright. Okay,
One sec, I'll be
quick
back.
note, I updated the camera position to be right here. So everybody
I'm gonna
look
go
at my
get them
butt.
one sec. Don't start without me.
I'm
Yes.
looking at the
Teleporting. Okay, they got it.
just flies out there.
Yeah.
Get that other person.
Oh,
Super Sec.
hi.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm finding my place again. Don't mind me. No, get back up here.
You're trying to bring him over.
Where the hell are you?
About where Dover's got their camera, maybe.
I'm trying to remember where you posted the original post for the Golden Jacks. What channel did you play?
It's in...
My full body's dead.
In the anniversary
No, it's
channel?
okay.
Anniversary, yes.
Who's behind?
No, I forgot to plug it in last night.
Did Sekol come back?
Okay, good. The tall one is behind me.
Yeah, Sekol came back. Is everybody here?
Yep.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Wait, can we wait for one more person?
Right here.
Castro.
Alright.
Oh, it's she. She's one. 1 second, I gotta.
Alright. Hurry! Hurry!
Get him.
Come on,
Speed
Castro.
hacks.
No Jex will be left behind.
No Jacks left behind.
We're gonna get all your pretty faces in this picture. I'm gonna do a couple 4K and I'm gonna try a couple 8K because when.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Oh god.
Your fucking computers will scream at you.
Oh, it's already screaming.
So I was typing a message.
You can do it, I believe in you.
I'm still quite shocked that I actually won.
Don't look. With a well-deserved victory.
You can come up
just,
beside me.
raise my head and then I'm
No,
gonna
I'm
freeze like
what?
hell.
What?
Just stare at the ground.
Okay, turn around.
Okay, just a second.
Alright, guys! Everybody in position!
Whoa. Wait.
There you go. You're good. Face that way. You're
Alright,
good. That's a way.
starting in 3, 2, 1. Everybody give me an E.
I'm just in time for the chorus.
Why?
I feel like I'm playing Phasmophobia right now.
For the pictures. Oh boy.
8KE. Oh no, he's gonna die. Oh no.
Alright, I was able to get a few. Get your last ones in.
Take all the pictures. Make sure they're 8K.
Arms up, everybody! Arms up! Arms up! More!
I didn't do it.
The Metroid bean pictures. Wait, if you got them, put up your
Oh, I don't have my feet on.
Oh no.
It's okay, you're not the only one.
3, 2, 1. Alright. Thank you guys.
Degenerates.
Oh.